Adam Dukes here. Welcome to Dadpreneur episode number 60. Getting close to that 100 episode mark. I can't believe it. This was a question I saw posted in a Facebook group this morning, and I got into a discussion with the guy. Someone posted, it's in a men's group of like 12,000 men, and someone's posted, what is your side hustle business? Or do you have a side hustle business? Something along the lines like that. 40, 50, 60 people responding with what they did on the side. Some of the guys had a full-time job and they had side hustle businesses. Some of the guys were full-blown entrepreneurs and worked for themselves full-time. And some other guys commented that they didn't have a side hustle business. And this one guy in particular made a comment saying, it was really just had a negative mindset. Said, I don't have a side hustle business. And he said, I'm not passionate about anything. I can't start a business. I don't have any knowledge to share with other people. And I thought that was just like super narrow-minded. And I get it because I kind of was like that years ago, but there's opportunity everywhere. It's 2016, almost we're on the doorsteps of 2017. There's opportunity everywhere. And so I kind of jumped in the conversation and I'm like, well, he's a CPA, or he's in accounting, and he's going to get a CPA. And so I asked him, what do you do on the weekends? What do you do at night? What do you do in your spare time? What hobbies do you have? You know, because he said, I'm not passionate about anything. I can't start a business. And so then I said, you don't just have to be passionate about it. Like I said, it's 2016. You could start a business around a TV show. You know, you like The Walking Dead. You could build up a Facebook fan page of Walking Dead fans, and you could sell licensed merchandise of Walking Dead apparel, clothes. I've seen shower curtains. There's a website called Trevco. It's I think it's the largest reseller of, or officially licensed items from every TV show you can think of, just about every movie, sports people. You could, like I said, they have shower curtains. They have like rugs of Walking Dead. Everything you could imagine, Walking Dead. There are some diehard fans. So if you're a fan of that show, you could literally start an e-commerce business around a TV show. So I asked him, I said, what are your passions? You know, I said, hey, if you got a TV show that you enjoy, you could start that. Or I've talked about this before, your mess is your message. Maybe you quit smoking. Maybe you lost weight. Maybe you overcame some type of obstacle. Maybe you're divorced or single parent, you know, whatever it is. It was a mess at some point and you got through it. That is very valuable to people. And then I started talking to him about, hey, he's in accounting. I believe he was in his young 30s. That's just my guess, judging by his picture. And I said, hey, what advice would you give yourself 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe when he was in college? What would you have liked to know 10 years ago? That's valuable information that you could share with those people that are in college, that are studying for accounting. Accounting's a huge niche or huge industry. There are hundreds of thousands of younger men and women going into that field, and I said you could probably give them information that would be very helpful, that would save them time and money, lessons that you've learned along the way on becoming an accountant. So that was an idea for him. And then, so I fired off all these ideas, and then he got back to me and he said, I love playing video games on the weekends. And I was like, video games, that's perfect. I was like, you know, I don't know how many billions. That is a huge, multi-billion dollar industry. And I was like, you want to know how something you could get started? Let's say he's good at, I don't know any video game names. I have no clue on video games, but I know they're very popular on YouTube. And I said, you could create a manual or a guide on game XYZ, whatever it is, you know, how to skip the levels or how to beat this game in 3 days or a weekend, something along those lines. If you can save someone time and save someone money, they will give you money for that. I said you could start with an ebook, some type of a guide, a digital guide, and sell it for $7 on a website. You could start a YouTube channel and share tips on this specific game that you're playing right now, and then in a couple months, maybe you're playing this game, and then this game, and then this game. And then he responded with, that sounds like a lot of effort. That sounds like it would require a lot of effort and time away from my son and career. So I said it absolutely requires effort to start a business. Some people don't understand that. And yes, it does take time away from your son, your family, and your career as well. There's a quote I shared with him. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it's something about entrepreneurship. It's I don't know who said it. It's anonymous, but it's entrepreneurship. It's living like no one else does for the first couple of years, so you can kind of live like no one else for the rest of your life. You know, you got to put in the work, you got to suffer, you got to live maybe paycheck to paycheck, or if it's a side hustle business, you don't have to do that, but you do have to sacrifice time maybe away from your kids, your son or whatnot, and or your career. But I was really disappointed. He had said, that sounds like it requires effort. And yes, it does require effort. It does require a time investment, and it might be time away from your son. However, if you look long term, that's more time with your son in 5 years. You know, once this video game, for instance, for him, once this video game thing gets rolling, now he can quit his accounting job, and now he's with his son a ton more. So maybe give up a little time before, or when the son is younger, but the payoff down the road is huge. That's kind of why I got into business. I got into business before I had kids. I knew I was going to have kids, and I got into business. And I'm fortunate enough to put Ava on the bus every single morning. I'm fortunate enough to be here at 11:45 every single day to when she gets off the bus. She's in like pre-kindergarten, so it's only like 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours. So I'm fortunate enough to be here when she gets off the bus. I take her to daycare. Last Friday, I went to her school, and they did like a holiday Christmas cookie decorating. So we decorated cookies. I brought Ashton with us, and it was the three of us. There was 2 dads, myself and one other dad, and then probably 12 moms, you know. So dads to go to schools like that, things like that, that doesn't happen that often. So that's why I suffered the first couple of years when I didn't have kids. I gave up my time, gave up like my social life on the weekends, because I knew long term, I was thinking long vision, long term, I would have kids someday, and I wanted to be able to spend time with them. So yeah, you do have to make sacrifices when you're getting started. If you already have kids, you have to make sacrifices, but just think that 3, 5, 7 year window, or that long-term planning, or whatever you want to call it, have faith that you're missing time right now with them, or again, you could do it after they go to sleep, wake up a little bit earlier. You can find time. So the point of this video was, if you want to build it, it's going to take some time investment, usually a money investment as well. You know, you might have to sacrifice time away from your job, your friends, your family, things like that. But it is worth it. And then this guy wrote back and said, I'm just not an entrepreneur, which is completely fine. Like, so it kind of changed the whole conversation. And I told him, hey, that's totally fine. I know it's the popular thing to do now, or the cool thing to do now, but being an employee is totally fine. Talked about this with my girlfriend Amanda and her son last week, Christian. He said, Mom, why don't you want to be an entrepreneur? She's seen what I've went through the last 6 years. She's like, that's not for me. That's totally fine. Some people are comfortable working jobs, and some people want to live this crazy, fucking wild roller coaster lifestyle of being an entrepreneur. So that's it. That's the message today. A little bit longer, but that kind of just fired me up. I got really into it with this guy, you know, going back and forth, giving him ideas on what to start. But there's opportunities are everywhere. You can start a business around anything, a hobby, like I said, a TV show, or a damn movie you could start a business around. If you can talk about it and get really passionate about it, it makes it much, much easier to do. So that's it for now. Thank you.